Welcome to today's show. Today we're going to make a little sausage that I'm going to dedicate to the boys down at the Big Indian Hunt Club with old friends of mine that recently hosted me down there for a short trip. I had to cut it a little short to come back for some personal business. But when we were down there, we enjoyed a sausage made locally. I'm going to say it was made locally in a place called Eagletown, but it's a deer pork blend that is made with some basic spices that I believe I tasted in it. And I'm going to make a rendition of something similar to that. I'm going to use natural beef casings, which I have desalinated in the refrigerator in a little plastic bucket. I've rinsed them. They should be good to go. I do have a tiny bit of beef in here, not because I think the recipe needs it, but because I wanted to balance out and get exactly a 17-pound mix in my mixer here. And again, the basic ingredients that I used started from one of my sausage recipes, breakfast sausage recipe, on the salt and the black pepper with red pepper. But instead of using sage, I'm going to use a substitute and I really haven't talked that much about using substitutes in recipes, but this is filet powder. And it tastes a little bit reminiscent of sage, so I'm going to use that as a substitute. But it's super fine, and so it will mix really well in amongst the meat, and you'll not know exactly where it's coming from, because unlike the big pieces of sage that you can visually pick out, people won't be able to pick out this. They'll taste it, but they won't be able to pick it out. And that's part of the little trick on some of your recipes, is not giving up exactly what you have in it. Posted on YouTube, it's kind of hard not to, but I'm going to use this filet powder in there. And I'm also going to use a little bit of onion powder because I believe the recipe had that in there. And I'm going to add some paprika for coloring, for natural food coloring in there to bring it up, give it some redness. And the last ingredient is some concentrated liquid smoke, because I don't know if I'll be able to put this on the smoker with everything that's going on right now. I may just cook this in the oven low and slow. But so we're going to add the meat to the hopper and go from there. Okay, I have pre-mixed the meat. I don't want to mix it up too much. This is a coarse grind that I did. I think it was using the 3/8 plate, so it's got a good coarse texture, except for, again, a little bit of the filler beef that I added in there to bulk up to the 17 pounds. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to dry mix. I'm going to dry mix the dry ingredients so that I can get a good distribution of this stuff before I add it in slowly, a little bit at a time. Now, I've dry mixed it, and I've added in just a tiny little bit extra of my dehydrated Caribbean red habaneros in there to kind of make up for those anemic cayenne peppers that we have, commercially available. And I'm just going to dust the top, turn it over a little bit, and go from there. I don't know that you need to see all the mixing of that. We only have limited time, but you'll get the idea. Now we've got it pre-mixed. We're going to take our liquid smoke and dribble as gently, because this is the concentrated stuff, as we can. Now we're just about finished mixing, I think. She's getting stiff. And we'll take a little bit out. Try to make a little patty like. We will microwave this and give it a sample, see if there's any adjustment needed. Okay, that's pretty good. Might use a little bit more salt, depending on your taste. But in today's new lower sodium world, I'm going to call that good right there. You can always add a little more to it. We're going to load up the stuffer, get out the casings, and squeeze us some sausage. Now you just feed this natural casing onto the tube. And this is a product made from cow part. The whole casing is not going to fit here, so I will have to cut it and tie it. And this makes the last of it. Well, that's all the sausage we have today. We'll have to tie that. We can either hang it in the smoker or we can put it in the oven, because we put artificial smoke in it. But that gives you an approximation for sausage we had in deer camp. And that right there, boy, there's some slipper dudes. Right there will make some seriously good eating. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll may show you a little finished up product in the closing. Thank you. Have a good day.